Welcome everyone to chair yoga. I'm Denise, and we're going to do a practice that is using the chair for everything we do today. We will offer a couple of standing movements, but if you prefer to stay in your chair, you will have that option. If you have a block with you, I'd like you to just take that block right now and place it under your feet. And see if that helps you just sit a little taller with your feet on that block. It kind of puts your lower back at rest. If you have any injuries or ailments, which we probably all do, I'd like you to just notice those right now and maybe even put a hand on places that your body might be feeling pain or tension or tightness right now. So maybe it's a knee or an elbow, a shoulder. Just to kind of identify for yourself where you're kind of noticing that you're living in a body this morning. And then if you're comfortable, just go ahead and close your eyes, or you can just look at the ground down in front of you. And we'll start to take some deep breaths. Just breathing in and out through your nose. And allow yourself to just notice what that feels like to simply be breathing. This breath coming in and this breath moving out. If your mind seems a little busy this morning, invite your mind to notice the chair that you're sitting on and the way that feels underneath you. If you're leaning back into the chair, what does that feel like against your back? Can you feel your feet resting on top of a block or the floor? Is there a temperature that you can notice? Does the room feel a little cool or a little warm or just right? What sounds do you notice around you? Maybe there's even a taste in your mouth from your breakfast or your morning tea. What do your senses notice as you begin this yoga class? Today, the theme of our class is wisdom, celebrating the wisdom that we bring to this very moment. The wisdom that every single footstep we have made on Mother Earth has brought us to. I just want to take a moment to honor you and your wisdom and invite you to share in this practice with others who bring their wisdom to this moment. We're just going to start with some very gentle movements. So bring your chin to your chest and just see what happens when you just turn your chin from side to side a little bit. Just finding that upper back and the back of the neck. And then we'll lift our chin and drop one ear to one shoulder. And let's roll slowly across the chest to the other shoulder. Just making half circles. Nice, easy half circles. Go as slow as you like. Just moving your body in a way that feels right for you. And again, you can keep your eyes open or you can close your eyes. Sometimes closing eyes can make us a little dizzy. Good. And then bring your head back to neutral. And let's just reach our arms out in front of us, palms down, and we're just going to open and close our hands. So you might notice some pain or tension here. If you have any arthritis in your fingers, remember that motion is lotion. So we're just going to start to move through our small joints first. Turn your palm over and just continue that open and close. And start to stretch your fingers out as wide as you can, just creating some heat here in your hands. And then let's stop in the name of love and turn the fingers sideways. So your fingers are going to be like little windshield wipers. And how far can you go? Can you bring those fingers toward each other and down? And just start to notice some different action in your body. Let's roll the wrists. Make a nice little fist. You can bring your arms in closer. Roll your wrists in both directions. You might notice that one feels a little more awkward than the other. Your dominant hand is different than the other. And then let your hands fall down at your sides and just shake them out a little bit. Get a little bit of blood flow to your fingers. We're going to shrug the shoulders up by the ears. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, and just let them drop. We'll do that again. Deep breath in. One more time, breath. Bring your fingertips to your shoulders. Elbows come out to the side, and we're going to start moving the elbows in and out, kind of like little chicken wings. Warming up the shoulders, moving through the chest and the upper back. And just notice what that feels like in both directions. Good, and then elbows stay out wide. We're going to draw big circles with the elbows. So just challenge yourself to see how big you can make that circle. Can you bring those elbows all the way together in the center? Where do you notice any limitation in range of motion? And just notice that. Might be different on the two sides. Let's reverse direction. Especially if you're like my friend Susan that has some hardware in one of those shoulders, that might change range of motion. Just notice what pain-free range of motion can you find here. And let's rest our hands again and just begin a very gentle seated cat-cow. So from the side, it will look like lifting the chest and putting a little bend in the back. And on the exhale, cat, rounding the spine. Just moving slowly to warm up all the way through the spine. And you can gently lift your chin and gently tuck. Matching movement with breath. So let the inhale help you lengthen your spine even more. And let the exhale help you as you round your spine. Maybe you'll find something that needs a little attention in there. You can pause. You can stay in that one position a little bit longer and just give your body a little more attention. Let's find a tall, neutral spine. Bring your left hand over to your right knee and bring your right hand to the back of your chair. So if you want, you can shift your body around a little bit. See if there's a way that you can sit to grab a hold of either the chair bottom or the chair back to help you into a twist. And on the inhale, just let your spine lift even taller. On the exhale, twist a little deeper. Twisting is great for our digestive system and also good for the discs of our spine. Let's go the other way. So the right arm comes to the left knee. And I'm just angling on my chair a little bit so I can get my arm behind the chair. Inhale to lift tall. Exhale to twist a little farther. Looking for a pain-free range of motion. Let's ease our way back to center. We'll do a couple more seated postures, and then we'll move to our feet for anyone that wants to. Take your left hand, and you can either just let it hang down or you can hold the seat. The right arm comes up. And we'll take a little bit of a lateral stretch. So the first thing we want to do is reach the fingers for the ceiling, and then you can let your spine curve sideways. This might be a small range of motion. It might be big. If there's something on the chair that you can grab, that might feel good. And just let your spine bend sideways. Deep, slow breaths. And come back to center. Switch sides. Find your tall spine first. Lift your left arm. Come up and over to a pain-free range of motion. This stretch is designed to make us taller. So if you feel like over time you've gotten shorter, this is your grow tall posture. Lengthen your spine. And then come back to center. Let's scoot our bodies to the front of our chair, and we're going to take our feet wide for this one. So you'll want to come to where you still feel like you've got good support underneath you. And we'll bring our hands to our knees, and we'll take this now to a bigger version of cat and cow. So we're going to take a nice little back bend, sticking our chest forward, and then a big exhale to round the spine backwards. And you'll just notice you can move quite a bit more here with your knees wide and your hips on the front of the chair. And just breathe deeply here. See if you can push more breath out on this rounded position. See if you can draw any more breath in when your chest is forward. And as we come back, let's see if we can just find any place of tightness in our back and pause just to take a couple deep breaths here. Long sigh as we exhale. And coming back to center. So take your block, and it's going to be in front of you, flat on the ground like this. And we're going to bring one foot up on top of the block. You can choose whichever foot you want. We're kind of still forward in the chair, and we're going to play with the gas pedal. So we're going to pull the toes back and push the toes down. Toes up, toes down. Just like you're driving your car and you just got your foot on the gas pedal, lift and lower. See if you can just really point your toes toward the front or over the edge of your block to get a nice stretch across the front of your ankle. And then lift your toes, and we're going to fan the foot from side to side. And then we'll circle the ankle all the way around. Nice big circles. You might be hearing, like me, some snap, crackle, pop. Reverse that circle. Just finding all the goodness in the ankle. And then we'll just kick the block over to the other side and same thing. So when you change feet, maybe it feels like you're driving in Europe. I don't know if their gas pedal is different than ours, but switching feet. What's that like? Flex up, point down. really stretch those toes as you point down. If you can work towards doing yoga barefoot, it's wonderful for your foot health. If you need to have your shoes and socks on, that's fine too. Just see how much movement you can get in your foot. And then we'll pull the toes up and we'll fan the foot from side to side. And turn that into ankle circles. Let's take that in both directions. And then now flip your block sideways so that you can put both heels up on the block. And your legs are kind of out in front of you. So I'm still forward on the edge of my chair. And we're going to do a little coordination test with our feet. So I want you to drop the toes of one and pull the foot back of the other. And we'll alternate those pedals. One points, one flexes. Bring your arms out in front of you and see if you can match your feet and your hands. So when one points down, the same side does. A little coordination test. And then see if you can do the opposite. So kind of freeze, and with one foot down, opposite hand is up. See if you can switch and do the opposite foot, opposite hand. And your brain is really working right now, making new connections as we work the opposite sides of our body so differently. And freeze right there. Pull all 10 toes back towards you and see if you can wiggle just your big toes. You move just your big toes. Can you move just your second toes? This is actually a movement that we can learn with practice. How about your third toe? Can you move your middle toe? How about fourth toe? And how about pinky toes? Can you move your pinky toes all by themselves? Or at least try. Wiggle all of your toes. Wiggle them like crazy. And then pick up one leg, and we're just going to hold this leg here with our arms and then just get a really big motion with that ankle in all directions. You might draw figure 8, scrunch your toes up, spread them out wide. How much movement can you bring into your foot? And as you set that foot down, just compare it to the other foot. Just look at the 2 feet and see if the one that you just moved has any different color, does it look more healthy? Let's go to the other one. Let's scrunch up the toes, circle the ankle in all directions. It's kind of crazy movement with your foot, erratic, unpredictable movement. Like your foot is like my puppy Bella. Crazy. Always changing directions and active. Move that foot. And then place it down. 2 healthy, happy feet. We're going to stand on our feet now. So if you are needing to stay in your chair, you can do all of these movements from here. But if you're comfortable standing with the help of your chair, we're going to face the chair first. We'll face the seat of the chair first. So you can either move your body or move your chair. And we'll bring the arms up high. And as we exhale, let's just bend our knees and place our hands on the seat of the chair. You can step back a little bit and soften down into whatever version of forward fold your body is comfortable with. And then we'll lift up to a flat back, Put a little bit of weight in your hands. Fold again. If you need the chair for balance, you're going to do that one more time. If you're comfortable standing, go ahead and reach your arms up high and bring your hands to your heart. So that's called a half salutation. We'll just do a few of those. Again, you're welcome to stay on the chair. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Hands come to the chair for support. Head drops down. We'll lift halfway and we'll fold again. Arms reach high and hands to the heart. Let's go one more time. Reaching up, breathe in. Folding forward, breathe out. Coming up halfway, take a deep breath in. Fold forward to exhale. Inhale, lift up. You can bring your arms high and exhale back down. So now we'll go to the back of the chair. And again, you can either just walk to the back of the chair or you can move your chair, whichever seems to be the best idea for you. Now we're going to use the back of the chair for several of our poses. So first of all, just standing here in mountain pose, and the option is for you to use as little or as much support as you need. Our feet are just a little wider than hip distance. We're going to do calf raises. So just lifting and lowering onto our toes here to strengthen our ankles. So walking is one of the best exercises we can do to keep ourselves healthy and fit. And we need strong ankles. We don't want to step on a rock and turn our ankles. So this is a great way to strengthen the feet and the ankles. Just little calf raises. And then turn your toes in just a tiny bit. It's going to feel like you're a little bit pigeon-toed. And then lift and lower there and see if you feel that a little differently in your calf muscles. Stay aware of your breath. Even though we're doing kind of work here, muscle work, stay connected to a steady stream of breath. And we'll turn our toes out, heels in, and lift and lower here. Working up into the calves. The dancers pose. Plie calf lifts. So do a couple more of those, using the chair as little or as much as you need. And then let's keep the hands on the chair, bring our bodies backwards and come into a chair version of downward facing dog. So this should feel really good to you. You can keep your knees as bent or straight as you like. Let your head be just relaxed between your arms. Take a few full, slow breaths here. Inhale and exhale. Just let your body stretch and lengthen. And with bent knees, we'll start to rise up and bring our feet a little closer to the chair. Step your right foot forward and your right hand stays on the back of the chair. We're going to open out into a warrior two pose. I'm going to move my chair a little bit. So we've got warrior two with one hand supporting us on the chair. This knee can be bent a little or a lot, your choice. And we're just going to straighten the front leg and lift the back arm, and then bend again into warrior. So working now on leg strength, stability through our hips, strength around our knees. Moving with your breath. Come back to warrior two and then just straighten your front leg. We're going to start to just reach our bodies forward over the chair, the top arm coming up. So this is a supported version of triangle pose. If you'd rather, you can just let your hand rest towards your leg, but the chair's right here for your support. This is a pretty challenging pose, stretching through your hips, your inner thighs, and your back. Come back to your warrior two. And then bring both hands to the chair and just kind of tiptoe that back foot into standing. Find mountain pose. The left foot is forward, and we'll take the right foot back now into your warrior two. And on the inhale, we'll raise the back arm and straighten the front leg. And then exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower, strengthening your feet, ankles, legs, and hips. Let's come one more time into warrior, and we'll straighten the front leg and just start to move from the hip into triangle. So you can stay here, or you can bring a hand down to the knee. If you're a little farther away from the chair, you can get a little stretch in that direction. Breathe here. And we'll soften the knee, lower the hand to the chair, bring yourself back up to standing. Working on our balance, tree pose. So this is another place that you can drag that block over to use for a little support here. So let's stand on our right foot and start by bringing the left toes to the block, just like this. And then we'll start to move that knee out and in. Just turning that knee out and in, finding tree pose. This chair is here for your support, and you can try to not use it or use it. Let's hold the knee out, and you can stay just like this, lifting tall, working on letting go, or you can bring that foot to your lower leg. And just test yourself, just kind of play with that balance. How about one finger on the chair? You have your whole hand. Just test the waters for yourself. Maybe the opposite arm creates a branch out or up. And slowly return to the earth. Find your center and switch legs. We'll stand on our left foot, and you can bring your toes up to that block if you like. And then just start to work your knee out and in. Moving through the hip. And we'll hold that knee out. So that's a great place to stay. If you'd like, you can bring the foot to touch the lower leg just below the knee. Test the waters. And if you like, the opposite arm can come up and create a branch. Rooting down through the sole of your foot. Let yourself be tall. Rooted down. And then we'll release. Shake out both legs a little bit. Just let your feet and your ankles and your legs shake out. And we're going to come back to our chair. We'll bring ourselves back down to seated. And we'll continue that work around the hips. So you'll need your block underneath your, let's start with your left ankle. And we're way forward on the front of the chair. And so now we're going to rotate open through the hip and in, working our deep hip rotator muscles. If you want, you can put a hand on your hip so you can kind of feel which muscles are working. Just rotating that large thigh bone in the hip socket. Looking for your pain-free range of motion. You might find a place where you kind of want to just hang out and feel that stretch or that sensation. And then pause in the center to bring your fingertips to the top of your thigh. We're going to try a little hamstring stretch. So as you exhale, just begin to slide your fingers down over your knee and across the front of your shin. And go until you feel a nice little stretch. Pull your toes back, and we're going to come back up. So we'll do that a few times. I have a woman that takes my class, and she says this is like putting on silk stockings. So just slowly coming all the way up and all the way down, and just finding a place that feels like a nice stretch. You're welcome to pause and hold the stretch or continue moving. As we come back up, put your foot, drag the block a little closer and put your foot on top of the block so one knee is higher than the other. And we're going to start to just lower our torso in the center. So we're looking for a stretch here in the hip of the foot that's on top. So this might be where you stay. If it feels okay, maybe put some weight over your lower leg. And you might even feel like you can fold all the way down to get even a deeper stretch. So kind of test the waters here. Where can you feel supported but also stretched around that higher hip? Connect back to your breath. And gently come back up tall. Go at your shoulders and kick that block over to your other foot. And we'll start with the leg extended out and the hip rotation. So bring the knee in and roll the knee out. If you can get close to the edge of your seat, you'll have a little bit more range of motion. You can just work on like relaxing your face here. Maybe there's tension in your forehead or your jaw. Let's extend that leg and we'll work on those, putting on our silk stockings. Come all the way down, toes pull back, slide your fingers up. Again, you're welcome to keep moving or to find a place that feels like a great stretch for you and you can hold that. In this class, we just really emphasize movement. Motion is lotion. And as we age, if we can just keep our joints and our muscles moving, that gives us a better quality of life. And we'll place the foot flat on the block. We'll take our knees wide. And then just start to angle your body forward. So you could rest elbows on your legs. Just see what's happening there in the hip of the elevated foot. Maybe both hands on the opposite leg, allowing you to fold in that direction. Or you could see about folding right down in the center, hands coming to the block or the floor. And take some deep breaths here in this deep hip stretch. This is a little bit like a pigeon pose. So it's a deep hip opener supported with a chair. Use your hands on your legs to help you come up. With a tall spine, let's bring the block again in front of us, and we want the block turned the wide way so that we can put our toes on the block. Okay, we're going to do a challenging posture now. This is a chair version of boat pose. So we're all the way up on the edge of our seat. We've got our hands holding the chair bottom. We're going to alternate one foot coming up and then the other. It's like a little march. You might feel the muscles in your low abdomen doing the work of pulling those legs up. If you are comfortable with that, you could lean back a little bit more. So lean back towards the back of the chair and continue that, really hugging the muscles here in. And if you want a really big challenge, lean back and hold both feet up. You're going to hold your weight with your hands. It's a really hard posture. Maybe just holding one knee in at a time. Just encouraging your core to be strong. And we'll release. Whew. Come to a tall spine. One foot stays on the block. Draw the other knee in. Just give yourself a little stretch here, knee to chest. Inhale as deeply as you can. Exhale all the way out. We're squeezing the hip. And just switch sides. Draw that knee in towards you. Give it a nice little squeeze. Chest is lifted. Good. And then from your tall seat, put your hands on your knees and just let your elbows come down to your knees. We're going to work our way into a seated forward fold. If you have osteoporosis, especially in your spine, stay right here and just let this be your version of forward fold where you're supported with your arms. If you feel comfortable here, you can fold your arms and start to lower your head downward. And just see how that feels to your lower back, your middle back, the back of your neck. If you're still getting a green light, you could bring your hands to your shins and let your belly come closer to your thighs. And finally, we can just wrap ourselves all the way down over our legs. That's a really big stretch for the muscles of your back. And so just listen to your body, breathe deeply. If being up higher is a better idea for you, you can do that. Take a deep breath in with an audible exhale. And using your hands on your legs, just slowly return to a tall seat. We'll move into a seated Shavasana. So I like to keep my feet on the block just to have a little more comfort in the back. You can come all the way back and just relax against the back of your chair. Turn your palms up so that you can see the palms of your hands. And then just close your eyes, or you can keep a soft gaze, but it might feel good right now to just close your eyes and observe your breath. Breathing in and out through your nose. Allowing your face to relax. Soften your forehead. Feel the soft space behind your eyes. Relax the skin around your temples, the sides of your head. Relax your jaw. Let your tongue come away from the roof of your mouth and allow your back teeth to separate, giving a sense of ease through your mouth and your jaw. Notice the sound of breath on your inner ears. And notice breath moving through your throat. Relax your shoulders. Relax your arms and your hands. Feel the back of the chair supporting your whole spine, holding you. Notice breath moving in and out of your chest. Notice breath in your belly. And feeling hips on the chair, supported and held. Feel your legs against the chair. Knees, ankles, and feet relaxed and supported. All we have to do is breathe. Breathe and be right here. This breath, this moment, sitting here, being alive and being well. I'd like you to reflect for just a moment on your age and how many years, how many birthdays have you celebrated? How many decades have you lived through? How many world events have you witnessed? How many seasons have you watched come and go? How many people have you loved? And how many people have you lost? What have you learned in these years? What would you like to leave from your wisdom? Slowly lower your chin and allow your eyes to flutter open to see your hands. These hands. Are you right-handed or left-handed? Is there any jewelry on these hands? And if so, does it mean something? How many hands have these hands shook or held? How many pats on the back have these hands given? And how many times have these hands come together in prayer? What have these hands created, cooked, drawn, played, touched? Let's take a moment in gratitude for these two symbols of the wisdom and the life that you've lived. And let's watch as our hands come together and come in front of our chest in this gesture of gratitude. Take a moment in gratitude for the journey so far, this juncture of the journey here, this rest stop on the journey. I'm grateful for the road ahead, whatever it holds. Thank you for taking time for yourself today. Let's bow. Namaste.